Week after the bipole debacle, the BJP is making an all-out effort to reach out to its sulking allies. Amit Shah will be travelling to Mumbai tomorrow to meet Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray after the two allies fought a bitter election battle in Palghar in Maharashtra. Shah and Thackeray will meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Matoshri, which is the Sena Chief's residence. NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, in fact, on Monday had asked the Shiv Sena to join hands with the opposition against the BJP in next year's Lok Sabha polls. And it's not just the Shiv Sena that Amit Shah is reaching out to, it's also the JDU in Bihar. It is Prakash Singh Badal, the Akali Dal. Prakash Singh Badal, he will meet on Thursday, as well as other allies. Sunitra Chaudhary has more.
Well, it's very interesting that the BJP's outreach program by which they're meeting eminent citizens, we've seen him, Amit Shah, meeting Kapil Dev and also former army chief in the last couple of days. That's also turning out and being merged into reaching out to allies. So on Wednesday evening, he goes and meets at 6 p.m. He goes to Matoshri and meets Uddhav Thackeray of the Shiv Sena, which will perhaps be a meeting after much bitterness between the two parties. Let's not forget, at the Palghar bipolls which the BJP won, it was the Shiv Sena which they had to beat, their own allies. And there's also been so much tension as well between the two parties, from Uddhav Thackeray's recent statement saying that the BJP controls the election commission, that it appoints the election commissioners, and also a whole lot of bitterness that has been there since the past year with daily outpourings in Samna, which is their party mouthpiece, against the party. However, the party feels that after Kairana bipolls, it is a bit of a sobering thought. They need to reach out to their allies, and so that will help them and set them in good stead before 2019. And that's why it's not just the Shiv Sena. In fact, just the day later, they will also be in Chandigarh in Punjab in order to meet the Akalis. They will be meeting Prakash Singh Badal, former Chief Minister, along with the other people in the family in order to seal the deal before 2019. They definitely want any more of their allies to be upset after Chandrababu Naidu and the TDP exit the BJP alliance just earlier this year.
All right, Sunitra, thanks very much for that. Well, joining us here in the studio this evening, Mr. Rajesh Sharma, who's the leader of the BJP, Mr. Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, our veteran commentator and journalist and author, here with us. Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress is with us tonight, and from the JDU, Mr. Pawan Verma will be joining us shortly. I want to add here that neither the Akali Dal nor the Shiv Sena actually wanted to talk about this subject just yet. So clearly, nerves are still a little frayed. Rajesh Sharma, let me ask you this first. Do you think this is a much needed course correction in a sense that the party president is doing, reaching out and being more conciliatory to the allies, and that in a sense this was something that needed to be done?
There is nothing such. We are reaching all eminent persons, we are reaching the poor, we are reaching the electorate, we are reaching the allies, and it is an ongoing process, and they are allies. Definitely we will be meeting them. 2019 the countdown has started, and it is quite natural that we have.
But why now? After Kairana?
No, not after Kairana. Definitely we will be meeting. We have met in past, and there is nothing such that after Kairana. We have won election after election. I can say everyone knows that state after state we have won. So we are into a winning spree, and by-elections cannot dictate or cannot make the trend for 2019. You know it well.
No,
so
but then why were your allies upset? You had the TDP leading the NDA. Look at what the Shiv Sena says every day about the BJP. The Akali Dal has said that, you know, this is not a single party government. You know, they don't like the way they were treated. We know how things are going in Bihar. So there's a reason why your allies are upset. Why?
No, I don't think that the allies are upset. There can be some differences, and definitely it can be sorted out. If they feel there is, but I don't think there is no difference at all. No, there is no difference at all, and there is no problem in that.
You can sit here and say there's no difference at all, but they're saying they have issues.
No, nothing.
Then why is Amit Shah going and meeting them? He's meeting Uddhav Thackeray tomorrow after 1 year. And the last time he met him was for the presidential election.
I can say that everyone questioned why is Amit Shah going for all the elections, why is Amit Shah going for all the states, why is Amit Shah going to meet all the villagers, all the poor, all the farmers, everyone. We are definitely meeting, because once we are into election, we have to meet everyone. We have to convey what the government has done in last 4 years, and we have performed, and we have delivered.
So you admit that you ignored the allies for 4 years, and now you feel you should reach out.
We have never ignored the allies, and it is there that it is intact, and our allies, I can say Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, we have a long association. It is not a
then why does the Shiv Sena put up a candidate against you in Palghar? So it's all is not well.
Nothing of all is not well. Definitely, if on one of the bipole they have put candidate, definitely it can be sorted out what was the reason behind and what was their view.
Well, at least you acknowledge that something needs to be sorted out. Before the rest of the politicians jump in, let me ask Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay about this. Is the BJP suddenly realizing that before the next election, they need to course correct with the allies, they need to be more friendly, that they need to really bring them back into the fold?
I think the initiative of Amit Shah going and meeting Uddhav Thackeray is possibly the first sign that, at least as far as allies goes, the BJP is willing to shed its arrogance. Let's try to accept it that right from the time when this government was formed with 282 seats of their own, they felt that they did not need any allies. Deep down, there has actually been a very condescending attitude towards allies. I'll just share with you a personal exchange with Mr. Modi when I was researching for the biography on him. So I'd asked him, 2012, at a time when the BJP list of allies was really dwindled down. So I'd asked him about this entire allies question. So he had a very simple answer. He said that, look, it all boils down to our winnability. When our winnability was high, during Mr. Vajpayee's, golden period, we used to have an abundance of allies, but once our winnability started going down, our allies started deserting. So all I am going to be concentrating is that to improve the BJP's winnability. Now, at the moment the allies are drifting away, it obviously is an indication that according to them, the BJP's winnability is not as high as it was in 2014. So obviously there has to be some course correction. My fear is that it's possibly a little too late and too little. That's
by the BJP to reach out.
I think so. This is my...
Okay, I'll get Mr. Sharma to respond to this in just a moment. Mr. Pawan Verma, as someone who doesn't mince your words when it comes to even talking about your ally, the BJP, do you believe that the BJP has in fact been arrogant in the way that it has dealt with its allies by and large these last 4 years, and that a course correction is now happening?
I don't want to use the word arrogant, but I think that perhaps it could have been more sensitive. When you have come with an absolute majority on your own, and allies, while they may be part of the NDA, are optional assets, then there could be an approach to the allies where they feel that they are not consulted as often as they should be, they are not on board on major decisions, and sometimes even their advice, when well intentioned, is looked upon as an unnecessary intrusion. Now there is something called coalition dharma. It was articulated best by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who carried a coalition of over 20 parties by dealing with each of them in a manner where there was respect for them irrespective of their size. I think that is something the BJP needs to learn before the election, because the track record is not very encouraging. The TDP has left, the Shiv Sena is openly hostile. I know that on many occasions the Akali Dal would have liked a better template of consultation and inclusion, and certainly we in the JDU also feel that while we are in the NDA, we need the respect as a party, as an ally. And please, I want to make a final point, Nidhi. Please remember that the allies represent strong regional leaders, an ideology, and a certain worldview. Now, you cannot ride roughshod over it, and I'm sure the BJP itself will realize this, and I think corrective measures are already being taken.
Well, like I said, you don't mince your words. You've been very candid, and as you said, whether an ally is large or small or whatever the numbers are, it is important that allies be treated with respect. Priyanka Chaturvedi, it's interesting that at this time, Sharad Pawar also made a very public overture to the Shiv Sena, saying that they should come on board with the opposition. What does the Congress think about that? And then, there's been a lot of speculation that Mr. Pawar has in fact met Uddhav Thackeray more than once in recent months, perhaps to push this very idea.
No, Mr. Pawar has been reaching out to all parties which he feels can come up with a coalition which will give a challenge to the Bharatiya Janata Party. However, I do not call Amit Shah's outreach as course correction. I call it more as a face saver, because I feel that Mr. Amit Shah it has dawned on him that as far as BJP is concerned, out of 20 big states that they are in power, 12 states are with allies. He's also realized that they have a coalition of 47 political parties, small, big, medium size. He seems to have realized that. And if today there was a vote of confidence that would happen on the floor of the House in the Parliament, they would need their allies to be able to see them through, to be able to complete their tenure. So this is a realization which I think Mr. Amit Shah has figured that he needs to reach out. So as far as the coalition politics is concerned, we have seen every single BJP spokesperson coming out and speaking about coalition in a bad way, coalition politics in a bad way, calling Mahagathbandhans as Thakbandhans, and trying to denounce and undermine the politics of coalition parties coming together and giving good governance. They seem to have realized this, that by trying to denounce coalition politics, they are damaging themselves totally. And I think this is what Mr. Amit Shah is doing through his outreach. We will continue to reach out to allies who we believe have a similar ideological point of view, who believe in the democratic values of this nation, and they can now go out and do their outreach, rather their face-saving method, to ensure that they have a better face to show in 2019.
Okay, you're calling it a face saver. I'll take this to Rajesh ji here. You heard your own ally, Mr. Pawan Verma, just saying right now, so because I know you'll attack Priyanka for what she said, that there is a need for the BJP to be more sensitive towards its allies, that all allies deserve more respect and need to be treated with respect. Now, your own ally is saying that on television in front of you.
We have always respected our allies, and we will always be respecting in future also. We have kept our allies since long, and it has been a nature of our Bharatiya Janata Party. It was seen during Bajpayee government, and it is seen today also, and we have been always respecting. There is nothing to worry on that front. The second thing, what Priyanka was saying...
No, but you're deflecting from that, because Mr. Verma is the part of the JDU, which is very much your ally. And he is saying you guys need to be more sensitive to how you treat your allies. So you need to acknowledge that there has been a problem.
If he says we need to be sensitive, definitely we are sensitive. If something is there, then internally we will settle out. It is a thing within the family, and there is nothing such that we are worrying something, or there is nothing such. One more thing here, whether in future BJP is going strong or not, whether BJP is winning or not, whether BJP is coming to power in 2019, this question is being thrown. I can say we have been winning again and again and again, and we have been delivering, we have been performing, we have been winning the...
You just lost very big bypolls, 3 of them in Uttar Pradesh.
Bypolls? How can you compare a bypoll with...
If you had won this bypoll, you would have done a road show from Kashmir to Kanyakumari.
Since 2000, we have never done road show of... by winning one bypoll, we will make a road show of Kanyakumari.
You celebrated Panchayat elections, so let's not go there.
I can say we have celebrated all the states. We have celebrated all...
So the bypolls are a big deal.
No, it is not a big deal. You are creating it a big deal. I can say very clearly that you are trying to create it a big deal, because that bypoll was for 1 year. And everyone knows that it is for 1 year. Bypoll was never more than a state. We have won state by state in 17, 18 states after 2014.
Let me ask Pawan Verma one thing, which is that there is another interesting thing we're seeing, which is that those allies who are there might start becoming a lot more assertive in the run up to the general elections. In a sense, we saw that happening in Bihar in the last few days, when the JDU was essentially saying that, look, we are the bigger partner here in Bihar. So do you think that allies honestly will assert themselves much more with the BJP at this time?
Well, first I want to make a response to what was said. You see, it doesn't mean whether you win or you lose. It is not conditional on that. The BJP may win every election, but that should not influence its essential attitude, approach to the allies who have decided to be part of the NDA. So it's not a conditional factor, first of all. As I said, it's a coalition dharma. Secondly, and I said this earlier also, Nidhi, you see regional parties or parties who are smaller but very important in their own regions, like the JDU in Bihar. Now, Mr. Nitish Kumar is a towering leader. He is the chief minister and is the leader of the NDA coalition even today. When he was in the NDA in the past, he was the JDU was the bigger party. Mr. Nitish Kumar was chief minister. Now, we would like that whenever discussions on seat sharing happen, certain aspects on the ground based on past precedents are kept in view, which makes allies feel that they are part of a consultative process which is based on verifiable realities rather than the subjective analysis of a BJP leadership which is convinced that its views alone matter. And I am saying this because this is important.
It is important. It is important because you're very clearly saying that as allies, what you're thinking, what you want is not necessarily factored in from your point of view, and I think perhaps Amit Shah is realizing that now. I just want to talk a little bit about the Shiv Sena, which didn't want to come and speak about this until the meeting happened, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. Look at the things the Shiv Sena has been saying now for some time. Even talking about, quite some time, talking about the trickery of the EVMs, saying that that's nothing short of a scandal. Even just yesterday, we are the BJP's biggest political rivals, etc. How do you think this is going to play out with the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra? There was one school of thought that after what happened in Palghar, maybe the Shiv Sena would have to play a secondary role to the BJP. The other view has been that it might just be the complete opposite.
There's been actually one problem with the BJP vis-a-vis the Shiv Sena. It's never really been able to understand that its essential political culture is very deeply rooted in caricature. It's part of their family culture, and it reflects in their political culture also. So it is there, to be very offensive is very routine and very natural to the Shiv Sena. BJP has been taking the Shiv Sena for granted for too long, just feeling that ideologically they are in such a box that nobody would actually have the courage to go and join hands with Shiv Sena. But the Shiv Sena alone can be a terrible spoiler. At the moment in Palghar, it cut the anti-BJP vote. But you really do not know that if the Shiv Sena decide to contest alone, and then you have a very peculiar kind of a non-formal seat adjustment, as there has been on various elections in the past, where you have the left and the right even combining to defeat the Congress in like in 1989. So you just have about anything that is possible. I think one fundamental difference which is there between 2014 and 2019 is that in 2014 it was the allies who were reaching out to the BJP because they felt that they needed
to jump
the BJP,
on the bandwagon,
to jump on the. Now the situation has changed
reversed.
Because it's reversed, and this is bad news for the BJP, because if the perception sets in that yes, it is not a very stable ship. On a specific point which Mr. Pawan Verma was saying, I think the part of the reason as to why this makes the JDU very jittery is because of this consistent whisper campaign which has been mounted, that the NDA won 31 seats in Bihar last time, out of which 22 were of the BJP, so we are not going to give these 22 seats away. We also have 9 seats of allies, so 31 seats are already taken up, and these are not for negotiation, so it virtually means that the JDU is left with only a kitty of 9 seats. If it really actually works out to such a kind of a watertight, you are actually leaving Mr. Nitish Kumar with no other options. But exploring other options. You're basically banking on what people have been saying, feeling that Nitish Kumar is running out of options.
But what you said, which is important, and I want to ask Priyanka Chaturvedi about this. You said anything is possible, and you're right, because in Indian politics, the art of the possible.
The example of 1989 when the BJP on one side,
absolutely.
the Janata Dal in the center, and the Communists on the other side.
In that sense, what you alluded to earlier as well. I mean, is the Congress in a sense ready to talk to everybody? And by everybody, I mean even parties who are currently in the NDA. I mean also the Aam Aadmi Party, even up in Delhi.
I wouldn't want to get into the entire Aam Aadmi Party equation, because we are in a direct fight with Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, and Aam Aadmi Party, we believe, has been one of the principal reasons why we saw the growth of Sri Narendra Modi. So but however, I wouldn't want to discount any possibility. Any like-minded party which believes on the in the same principles as what the Congress stands for, then we would be engaging with them, we would be talking to them. However, we would not be compromising on our core principles and our core values as far as our presence in various states are concerned. So this is something we are very clear about.
No, but if you had, for instance, if Sharad Pawar's overtures to the Shiv Sena worked and it said, okay, fine, we're jumping ship, how does that work out for the Congress? Which is why I asked you that question right at the beginning. It's the complete opposite of the Congress.
No. So I believe even this was discussed during the BMC elections that happened in Mumbai, where the likelihood of all the three coming together was a possibility, but Congress put its foot down. We chose what we wanted to do. So like I said, we would be aligning with parties which have a similar belief as us, which believes in the core ideology of the Congress, has similar point of view. We would not be making compromises for the sake of being in power. The Bharatiya Janata Party might want to do something like this, like aligning with the PDP in Kashmir and letting Kashmir burn, or aligning with Shiv Sena while Maharashtra continues to suffer at the expense of them being in power. So this is something we will consciously have a dialogue. We are open to dialogue and discussion with all. However, we will also look at what ideologically fits us and politically fits us as well.
All right, I have to leave it there today. So fascinating months ahead for us. Let's see how this goes. Amit Shah meeting Uddhav Thackeray tomorrow. Prakash Singh Badal on Thursday. He's already met the Paswans last weekend, and there's also a JDU, an NDA meeting actually in Bihar that also takes place this week. And on top of that, Pranab Mukherjee addresses the RSS. Get your head around all of that.